Jack, a little fell pony. Small fell pony, but he's crossbred actually, but he's more a fell than anything else. Nice little pony. Had an accident with his owner, which was quite, and also the lady's been very specific of what's happened. You know, so basically they were putting it to, had one shaft connected to the quick release tug, and at that moment it took off in a school, and went round the school. Obviously it was upsetting, very upsetting for the horse, because he's got one shaft flapping about one side and, you know, banging him and knocking into him. Anyway, they have got him, eventually got him stopped and dealt with the situation. I get the harness etc. off, and since then he was, I mean, you know, like obviously, so she sent him to us to put back in, and he didn't really want much to do with me. He was more happy with Ree, you know, the other trainer, a lot happier with Ree, the other trainer, really. And so, come on my lad, good boy, in you go. Now I don't know for why that, you know, that was, her husband was with her at the time, and I just don't know, but it definitely was happy with Ree. So Ree started the pony off and started to build its confidence slowly, and yeah, it did take a fair bit of time just to get the confidence up, because if they haven't got any confidence in the person handling them, you're not gonna get very far. And then I stepped in. We worked together with him, so we'd both be on the vehicle, etc. And we worked together, we get to hear my voice. And then after a short while, well, I don't know, a few days of doing that, he was all right. Excuse me, and accepted me. But we have had a trial in finding out exactly, because although we know exactly what happened, we don't know how the pony's taken that. You know, we don't know how it's affected the pony. That's really hard to say, because so we eventually found out just by trial and error that it was a noise around his quarters that was the problem, and more the near side. Now I know that sounds silly, but all she can remember, or she remembered everything quite clearly, the lady, but all that she could remember that would have upset him, there was some pallets with some plastic on them, you know, like some sort of wrap plastic that you see around pallets, sheeting, you know, covering them over, etc. And whether there was something in there that just startled him now could easily be. I mean, if we look at it in a sensible light, these horses will go, lorries will come past them, truck dumpers, diggers, men working in the road, and yet a pheasant bouncing out the hedge can affect them, you know, make them startle and unnerve them. Well, I would say it's fair to say that all horses then and ponies, as long as they can see and you can, you know, sort of explain to them, it's okay, don't worry, come up and have a look, touch it, feel it, you know, with your lips, and you'll, you know, normally they're okay. And when they can't figure out what's making the noise, then they can, you know, sometimes that seems to be what happened. No one can remember, whoever's had an accident, and people say, you know, when a horse runs off with you or something like that, or startled, and people say what you should have done. Well, let me tell you, when they run off, you know, all happens in a split second. It's like having an accident in a motor car. You know, I've done it myself when, you know, it's been a bit snowy and I've bumped into a fence not so long ago, you know, and it was only me involved, me in the car. Not that I'm the best driver of a car, you understand, but I slid straight into a fence, bent all the front of the car up. So, but someone said, oh, what you should have done, but you know, you haven't got time to think. You know, whether you're young, old or what, you just can't think that quick, you know. So, and basically you're trying to preserve yourself and the horse, obviously, from any danger or getting hurt or hurting somebody else. So I've heard all sorts of things what you should have do, and when people say to me, that's why you need a Liverpool bit, well, let me tell you, because most horses are driven in Liverpool bits, and I do mean a lot of horses, majority I would think, in a cantilever bit anyway, of that type, whether it be a butterfly, Liverpool, military reversible, Buxted, you know, whatever, they will be driven in. Well, there's plenty of runaways, let me tell you, with that in, and a curve chain and down on the slot. When horse goes out of panic, right, it's because it's something he's not experienced that comes along and upsets him. So when that happens, a bit won't stop horse. Otherwise there'd be no runaways, would there? Obviously. But there's plenty. But we use rubber bits, and what we try and do is get a strong enough bond with the horse and get the owners to do the same when they come down. Explain to them, if they listen to what we tell them, and how, you know, how to treat the horse, etc. The other thing with this pony, he was spoilt. Now, lovely pony, don't get me wrong, but when you asked him to do something he didn't want to do, he'd have an argument with you. Well, that's completely left him now, and he seems very happy, you know, he's very happy to do his job, you know, to go out. So how do I know that? Well, when you go into the stable with him and you've got his harness, his old ears prick up and he'll put his head down, you know, to have it slipped over his head. He stands perfectly quietly. If you bring him outside, put him to, leave him there for a minute, he'll stand there all day. He will stand there all day, as quiet as a lamb. But when you first leave him there, he's eager to get on, and he would paw the ground. We've taught him he mustn't do that, but he would paw the ground, say, come on then, let's get on, let's go. You know, he'd want to do that. So in that respect, you know, I mean, take even what he's doing just at this moment in time. He's going up this here, look, he's not dropping back, he's got a four-wheeler behind him. You know, he's not coming to the walk or anything, he's trotting up. I've got a slack rein, he's not being persuaded to go up in any way. You know, he's just perfectly happy to do it, which is another lovely, you know, a lovely way for a horse to be. You know, like going up here, it's like if I put them reins down there, he didn't care any difference, it just goes on the same. And he's perfectly happy, yeah? I'm not saying you should do this, but to get all safe, confident and happy, that's what you need to do. Whoa, my baby. Stand still, darling. Good boy. So what we're going to do now, we're going to drop an old sheet of metal down behind. So we've got our old piece of metal here, which is worn over the years, as you can see. So it's a piece of aluminium checker plate. It makes a noise when it goes down. So it startles him, but he don't move. Just got a rubber bit in his mouth. Whoa, that's it. So that ring on there, keep it central, so it don't go under the tyres really, that's the main thing. Put my glove back on, it's cold all morning. Right, walk on. So, well, there's two things to look at, is his ears and his tail. If he was disturbed, he'd clamp his tail to his quarters and his ears would be back on it as it's, you know, going along. Walk, baby. And he can trot, obviously. Trot, babe, trot, trot. step on a sixpence, although that's behind him. That's a very important thing. I'm going to do that one more time and show you. So the pony will stop dead when I asked him to, with a soft rubber bit, not with a cantilever bit and a curb chain under his jaw. And people say to you, you know, you've got to, you know, hold the rein on, let it off, yeah? Pressure and release. Well, let me tell you, the pressure's pain. Put the bit up your arm, put your thumb up in the air, put your bit there, and the curb chain underneath. Just give it a little twist and see what happens. That hurts. So if he'll stop for me, so look at him now, look, she's just pulled the ground. I said, come on, let's get on. Right, walk. You go away at the trot, babe, trot. Come on, trot on. Hey, hands up. I'll give him a little pull, which were 2 fingers, right? Pull. And he stopped. Well, see, that noise is behind him. So he's not has no fear of it, because I've taught him that it's not going to hurt him, it's fine. Why do I do that? Well, as I've said many times before, if an exhaust come off a motor car as they're coming past you, you'd want to know your horse could cope. Stand still. Stand still. So, so yeah, we've worn that out over the years, as you can see. We've got another one that, you know, we've got about 4 different ones we use that give a different note, but that's the worst one. I don't know why, but it's bent, I suppose, so when it lays the wrong way up and bounces about under the carriage, the noise is quite deafening. But when the pony, no reaction and just, you know, carry on happy and comfortable like that, you can't ask for more. Especially when you consider that he's run away, hasn't he? He's run away and he's had all that noise behind him, and we think it was a noise thing that sent him away in the first place. We think it was, you know, down to noise. So, go on, my baby boy, up you go. Good boy. So, you know, there he is, he just goes along lovely. We're not far from home, so he's going along fine. He'll go downhill like this, you know, no rain on him whatsoever, keep on his side of the road. Now, some wonderful person's dumped a load of rubbish here in this little lay-by, you know, and obviously it's something new to him. He's never seen this before. So you can see his ears pricking out and having a look. So I'm going to say, come over, darling. Come over, baby. Come over. Come on. There's your good boy. Come over. Come over. Come over. Come over. Hey, good boy. Come over. Hey, good boy. Come on. Come on. Come on. So we'll go up, let him have a look, see? Just let him have a look, let him investigate it. Come on in. Up you go, go on. Get up, go on. Go on. There's a good boy. Let him have a little look at it. And we'll come round here, come on. Like that. There's a good boy. Turn right round in the road. Come round tight, baby. Tight round. Tight. Tight. And this is what I mean, boy. Letting them see what the problem is, you know. Come up. Go on, in you go. Go on. So now we're right up. He's over it, he can investigate it, have a look. He's not upset, I'm not pushing him, I'm not whacking him, I'm not leading him up there, I'm just asking him to go. Go on, babe. And there he is, have a look at that bag, have a look at that, look. There his head's right over it, can you see? Now we go up here. Come on, darling, hey, good boy. And you can't shout and holler and smack and doing all that and, you know, forcing them. It's just crazy, just absolutely stupid. Just kid them, cajole them. We're supposed to be the one with a big brain. They've got a tiny little brain. So now I'm going to bring him over. Come over there, my baby. Here, good boy. Here you go. Go on. Go on. Go on in, there's a good boy. Now, so that problem that we had is now gone, isn't it? In 2 minutes. Now, obviously, sometimes when you're on the public highway, you can't do that because, what's it, but we're, you know, we can hear, we're out in the morning early always, and we can hear motor cars, etc. around us, so, but that's what you have to do, and it is as simple as that. But I've been doing this a long time, and the other trainer, Reed, that works alongside me, you know, very experienced as well. So it's knowing the horse, understanding horses, being able to read their body language, every little twitch, every little thing they do gives us information on how to deal with a particular situation. And Rhea and I don't always see things exactly the same. And many a time she can be right and she'll get a better result than I will, you know, on a minor thing like that. I mean, she might, I mean, by that, I mean, she may have just come up the side of that and then just stood there and looked at it, yeah. I wanted to see whether the pony would go. He moved away from it, that's no problem. No shouting, and you know, he wasn't keen to go, and I'll come up, go past, and then turned and come back, then went up. But as long as what you achieve at the end of it is the same, but that's just how you perceive the horse and what you think is best, and that's good. There should always be some differences. Don't want everybody to do it exactly the same, but as long as you end up with the same goal, that he's gone past there, and he doesn't mind, you know, he's accepted it. So next time we go down, he won't even look, you know, he'll just trot past as though it's not there. Because we've allowed him to go and investigate it. A lot of people, when they're loading a horse, you know, what you need them to do sometimes is don't bully them. What we've found over the years, the best way of all is to let them come and stand at the bottom of the ramp, yeah, and let them take their time, and you're better off. I mean, everybody should be doing it at home before they go off to a show or anywhere like that, and just stand there with the pony, let them go down normally. I would say, I don't know if Ree would agree, but we're down about 60% of the time, 70% maybe. If they can go down, touch the ramp, smell it with their lip, you know, then they lift their foot and just put it on and touch it, normally they'll go up. You know, normally they'll go up. But what you've got to do is just have the patience. Well, sometimes when you're going off somewhere, to a show or a drive or whatever you're doing, transporting all, you know, you don't have the time. You want to get it on and get going. Don't do that. Long before you go, get your trailer out and, you know, just ask them to go in. Some people do it with food. We don't. We never use any, you know, tidbits or anything like that. Just all they've got to do is you've got to give them time to look at it, investigate it, understand it. If horses are laying down in the field and one's standing up, yeah, if the one standing up runs away, they'll all get up and run away, but they ain't got a clue why they run away. They just take the lead from the other horse. So, you know, and they're a flight animal. That's what they're made to run. They can definitely get on. Come round, baby. Come round. There's a good boy. Come round, darling. Up you come. Whoa. So, stand still, baby. There's one. So, as I say, just to finish, with this horse here, he had lots of trouble. So we've just thrown down the metal behind him. You can see he's totally relaxed. You know, he's not pawing the ground. I've not taken him straight into the gateway today to go in to where the stables are. We've come across the road, so we're just going to stand here for a minute because this to him will be totally foreign. You know, what are we doing then? So we're going in the arena? No, we're not going in the arena. Well, what are we doing? Why are we standing here? But you're standing here because I'm asking you to stand here. Stand still. And he's got to stand here on a slack rein, not holding his mouth tight or anything like that. We've just been down and charged through the water, so all his belly's wet. But a lovely little pony. Walk on, babe.